What it do, Facebook? This your boy Tyshawn Giovanni Sr., aka King Cassette, aka Ricky Ross, aka Big Meech, Larry Hoover, aka Mr. Teddy Bear himself. To be honest, I'm bored. It's 2:09 in the morning, and it's nothing to do. I can't sleep, so I decided to come up on here and make me a little video. Excuse me for all the sniffing and coughing I do, but I'm kind of sick. My sinus is getting to me, and yeah. First subject. Films. Why is it so hard for you to forgive a stud after they done messed up over you? Like, what's the deal with that? Like, even though the stud done tried to come back into your life and do right and everything, you give this man such a hard time. Why is that? Secondly, studs. Why do we even try to come back in a female life when we know we ain't through in the streets? That's making it hard for another stud that's out there really trying to do right, or trying to be with that one person. Just one, trying to be with that one person. It's making majority of our studs look real bad. Films. Why when y'all say y'all want a stud, can you define stud? You know what I'm saying? Can you tell me what kind of stud you want? You know, you got a lot of studs out here. You got studs that's hard, like don't want you to touch them studs. You got studs out here that's like, touch me studs. You got soft studs out here that's still wearing drawers. Still got on the same kind of panties you got on. Still wearing the same bra you got on. I don't know what the fuck that is. You got some out here that's faker than a motherfucker. You got some out here that's that ain't even studs, but call themselves studs. You feel me? I don't fuck with them. But y'all say y'all want a stud, but y'all, you claim that you want one, and then when you get one, you be like, I don't want one because they too much like a nigga. That's what half of these studs are. Girls that want to be niggas. You know what I'm saying? But you got some studs that's out here that want to be niggas, but know they're female and carry themselves as a nigga, but deep down inside they know they're a female. But you got some studs out here that think they got shit straight wood. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I laugh at them because deep down inside, bitch, you still a femme. You still got a cat. You still got boobs. You feel me? You still get poked. Not me. I don't play that shit. But films, I just want y'all to tell me, like, what kind of person that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? What you really looking for. You know what I'm saying? You say you look for this, but you looking for the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And then studs, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna apologize about the stuff, ain't no sense you going back and doing the same thing over again. That's making it bad for other studs out here in the world that's trying to do right in this gay community. It's fucked up. But, you know what I'm saying, it's our community. Get back at me. Hit my comments.